Hey everybody, Ish here with my 6'3" Rick build. I'm going to get into my jump shot, all the animations, and some clips with everything so you can see how it all works. Going to have 80 layup for the Trey Young. Driving dunk is going to be 80. We're going to get the Booker along with Malik Monk. We got standing dunks on this. 85. Do not go lower than 85 for that mid-range. It's coming in clutch. 92 off the original build, plus 5 on the clamp breaker. We're going to have Hall of Fame for all of our shooting badges, basically. And then we're going to have 89 pass X. So we get the Halliburton. I definitely need the bailout clutch. 92 off of the initial build. I'm going to use all my plus ones on that to get to 95 for the ball handle. So it's going to be a couple seasons, but we're good. 86 speed with ball, but I do run flash. So I use that to get speed with ball on my takeover. So it actually has been working out really good. 85 perimeter. And I am going to do my second clamp breaker for the speed with ball to go to 91. That is what it's set up there. I'm a starter 5 right now. 94 on the steal. You can get a +2 later, maybe like season 6 if you want to get 96. And then 85 strength. Very clutch here. You're going to see a lot of that in the videos coming in handy. All right, first up, we'll look at finishing. 2-foot moving dunks, just running athletics there. Same on both of these, just a one, athletics off of 1 for both of those, 2 and 1. And then just a regular set of two-handed dunks. Real basic, but Devin Booker, and then we're going to run Malik Monk. You don't really need too many animations. You want these to hit clean. And like I say, with combination of the 85 strength, and you're going to have that with your physical finishing and being able to just body up on somebody, break free, get a little boost off of that, and then get the dunk. So like I say, I have the takeover is going to be flash. It's going to, you're going to get blur when you do get the takeover, so you're going to be able to drive a little bit easier. You'll see that once in a while, but just to make up for that 86 speed, I was saying I run that. Probably the best option for the takeover until that if you get the second clamp breaker, which I know is going to be a while for a lot of players. But see how I'm able just to navigate, kind of bump through. Your strong handle on this build is going to be on Hall of Fame also, so you're not going to get ripped very often. You're going to be able to bring the ball up court. If you want, you can kind of put a shoulder into a guy. You can knock most defenders off of you for space also. But if they try to stop you, you can just kind of navigate around there pretty easy on this build. And then the finishing with the Trey Young layup package is actually pretty strong. Like most people, we're just going to be running that, holding the X button down and letting it go. Just have that set to real player percentage for the layups. I'm sure most people are aware of that already, though. Alley-oops, all that stuff, you're fine. 70 vert, and you hit the 70 just to make sure you get the Malik Monk package in there also. But you see, inside, even if someone kind of bodies up on you, it's going to be pretty easy to break off, and then you make your move, do whatever you have to do. I think the big thing is I'm just trying to get ahead of the defender if I'm trying to make my move. If I have a space, I'll do it. If somebody's waiting in the paint, I'm obviously not trying to dunk on them or myself even get layups on them. I'll drive in and kick out, which you'll see that later when we get to like the passing and stuff like that. But now if the meter dunking is your thing, this is not going to be for you. But ease of use really on this build, because the dunks you're going to be using and the layups you're going to be using are mainly just X dunks and all that. So if you can get momentum, get to the hoop quick, you're going to be able to finish like 9 times out of 10 on this build with this setup. So it's really nice. Quick look at the jump shot is the Kyrie Irving base with the double Patrick Beverly. There's the push and release speed. I'm using 3/4. And for myself, why I have the Kyrie with the releases the way I do is just because the rhythm shooting felt really good on it. A lot of the other shots, the first part, where you hit the release point, gets on you a little too quick to be consistent with the stick shooting. So this one's pretty nice. The ball, the release point's kind of right on top of your head, so it gives you a little bit extra time when you do get those really quick shots to get that transition on the stick shot better. Otherwise, you're stuck shooting X with a lot of the jump shots that people like. They're just a little bit too quick in that department. But hitting the red tight contest, that was really a bad take, but we hit the shot anyway there. And as you would figure, 97 to me, I think is good enough. I know the 99 stuff is nice, but just where the build I wanted to get defense, which I'm not really going to show defensive highlights. That's not really stuff I clip. That's you've got movable force, you've got high strength, you've got good perimeter, and if you got a good steal. So just that's going to be on you otherwise. But you're going to be better off than most point guards in that spot for sure. Gonna take a look here first at the Ja Morant go-to shot. I actually will use this to shoot off. You can run out of it if you want to break for the basket, but I will set this up for a shot right here. Pretty easy to actually time that when you get it. The animation needs to start when the ball is in your main hand. I'm right-handed, so I need the ball to be in my right hand when I trigger the move. Otherwise, you're going to get like a really slow version of that, and it's pretty useless. You can't really dribble out of it. You have to run out of it if you trigger it in your offhand. So don't try to avoid that. But the other thing with it, while I really like the move, there's always downsides to a lot of these moves, and with this one you have to make sure you don't get bumped when you do hit the move, because odds are you're going to drop the ball. You know what I mean? It's one of those kind of like when you get bumped when from a behind the back and the ball just dribbles away, floats away from you on the ground, whatever, turnover either way. So make sure you're not forcing the move into a defender. Make sure you have them set up on your left-hand side or just off you, playing too far off, but definitely want to be on the left. And the dribble pull-up is going to be yet another starter 4 animation, Devin Booker. That's just one of my favorites to use from year to year. I'm pretty used to the timing on that and the animation on it. The corner fades, as most people know, going to be one of the easier to hit if you're three hunting on these. The midi fade is really strong this year. I believe it's the only shot that has the pure green window when you do hit it. So I know a lot of people like the dunking and whatnot, but I am perfectly fine just finding a little bit of space on the floor and hitting the midi fades this year. A little bit tougher shooting, even though it is better now than it was in season 1. But just because of that, I'm going to take any open shot. To me, this year is more about efficiency. Get your 3 when you can, obviously, but I'm perfectly fine just taking these jumpers. Now, if you were going to be running this like for 3s or something like that, and you didn't want all the pass accuracy, I'd even put a couple more in there, get maybe like an 87 midi. A little bit excessive to some, but I just think, again, a really strong shot this year. I'm going to hit that catch and run. Going to be good. I hadn't really even gotten used to shooting these with the stick, so I know that'll be even better when I do that. If you are ever trying to shoot these fades with the stick, you can just hold turbo and start the right stick up instead of down. But if you start it up while you're running, you can get that fade animation through the stick. But like I said, even myself, that's the one shot that I still shoot with the X, even though most of my jumpers that you see and step backs, a lot of the other stuff, I will be using tempo shooting for that, rhythm shooting, I should say. But for these, it's the last of it. It'll be the last habit to die off, but very good move. I take the fades here, and I do +1. I haven't talked about the +1s yet, but that is what I use for the badge. You can use your spot up shooting. That's they're going to be a strong one also. But for me, with everything else at Hall of Fame for shooting, I'm just going to want to make sure that my midi fades, all fades are going to be boosted up. So I take my legend badge with the +1 every season on the fades. And the spin jumper here going to be Kyrie Irving, yet another starter 4. Great animation though, probably the best in the game as far as at least anything I've tried. You see you're going to get a lot of space off of this. Going to start it on the left-hand side of the floor. Again, ball is always going to be in your right hand, but I kind of want to move this anywhere this direction coming up and hit the move, it'll float back. And then on the right-hand side of the floor, I'm kind of always going on that sort of spot. There's a few dead animations here and there, and the only downside is if you do drive in too far, it'll kind of turn into like a layup like this, but otherwise, really nice animation. Okay, the next move we look at is the hop jumper. Another great space creator here. Davion Mitchell, starter 4. There you go. This is going to be a 2-getter, though, unfortunately. Off the left-hand side, you get this really quick, nice animation, but it's always going to use the front foot for the takeoff to where the shot registration is, so it's going to be really hard to ever hit that for a 3. You have to be pretty far out on that wing, and then that shot's kind of like a low percentage at that point. But if you need a quick bucket, you've got leverage, especially with our strength, you're going to be able to push off and get a clean look on this. Normally always going to be wide open to open, and then just making use of the space here. Pretty simple look. I'm normally going to favor this off this left side. You see, again, we just get in, we get the body contact there, and then easy hop jumper. If you're used to anything like a You see the Joker or something like that, where you have that push-off move. This is going to be pretty easy for you. Otherwise, just practice it up. Okay, final thing we're going to look at here as far as the highlights go is the Tyrese Halliburton pass style, 89 pass accuracy requirement. You could probably get by with 85 in this game. Me, myself, I got to have that bailout right there, as you see. That's mainly what you're going to look at in these highlights, alley there. But main thing is being able to drive efficiently, get the defense to collapse, and pass out. Sometimes, you know, you're going to be caught in a bad take. You know, you're going to go for a midi, all of a sudden people crash it. You're going to be able to at least be at a high success rate of bailout. That one right there, almost super clean. Got a little stumble at the end, otherwise would have been real nice. Try to get that man an easy shot, but hey, defense ain't stepping up. Might as well put the other guy on the ground anyway. But you know, trying to share the ball. You know, do what you got to do here. A lot of the games here that now for a good portion of these game highlights, I was actually playing shooting guard, so you didn't really see a lot of like high assist games. That's the reason why this build can function really either one. You could be PG or shooting guard, but it's definitely set up for the PG when you want to play that role. So it's with a lot of things, you know, a lot of the moves you see me doing, it's going to be dependent on if you're playing random rec or by yourself. You know, you take a couple hop jumpers or a job Moran or whatever, and you miss that early on, people might think you're weird and you know, some stuff like that. So best with your buddies.